Hello, my name is Joe Johnson and I've been actively engaged in research into natural remedies for over 20 years. If you have fluid retention, then you need to really listen because this crucial short video will directly affect you. What I have discovered about stopping fluid retention and stopping it quickly, it's new, it's cutting edge, and it just might be the untapped resource that you've been looking for. I'm going to show you how simple it is to quickly reduce or even stop your fluid retention, but just as importantly, how to switch on and speed up your body's own natural healing mechanisms to clear away the excess fluid quickly, easily and naturally, without the need for expensive, useless and even dangerous drugs. Now, Emma Williams, a health editor on several respected health sites, she's urged me to share with you details of an astonishing discovery that I've made about fluid retention, one that gets rid of the fluid faster than you've dreamed possible. So in plain English, you're going to find out what is actually going on in your swollen ankles, your swollen legs and your swollen tummy. And you're going to see how simple it is and easy it is to reduce the fluid retention. And you may have had medical tests to explore, why you've got fluid retention, and that is always a good idea. But in almost 100% of cases, the cause is never found. So if you do have fluid retention, what's actually going on? So think of it like this. Whether it's through wear and tear or a build-up of toxicity or hormonal imbalances, you have got fluid retention and excess water is being stored around the body, usually in your legs and your ankles and your tummy. Now your body is more than capable of rebalancing this delicate biochemical situation because after all, your body made your body in the first place. But it's always assumed that your body would work correctly and last you a lifetime. So apart from the usual biochemical and cellular replacements that take place on a moment by moment basis, your body's healing mechanisms don't usually undertake or focus on rebalancing the hormonal and biochemical processes to reduce the fluid retention. So if you've got a fluid retention problem, you're suffering swelling and discomfort and misery, you've got to somehow stimulate your body, natural healing mechanisms into focusing on and repairing the biochemical imbalance, which is causing your fluid retention. I hope you got all that. But it is simple. Unless you find a way to stimulate your own body, what it knows how to do anyway, you've got to do it without damaging your immune system. And if you don't, then sooner or later you'll end up with just too much fluid and you might end up choosing, very powerful and toxic drugs, and that's not your best option. So normally, if you get fluid retention, your body's healing system will, over a period of time, a long period of time, it'll attempt to heal itself. But if you've been stressed or overworked or taken drugs, including the contraceptive pill, or painkillers and anti-inflammatories, then your body's healing mechanisms become slightly weaker. And sometimes that's enough for the healing mechanism to be interrupted or even stopped altogether. Now, once you experience fluid retention, you'll be struggling to walk or even move, could be for hours or even days. Some people with fluid retention, if it's left untreated, they never really function properly again. Now, to make things even worse, if you use some of the drugs to reduce fluid retention, you'll have to swallow them, which means that the whole of your body's healing mechanisms again might be shocked and weakened even further by the toxic impact of these powerful drugs. This is why what they call water tablets, they do appear to work for a day or two, but then your fluid retention problem comes back, worse than ever before. And in case you're in any doubt about the danger of modern drugs, now according to a recent report by eminent US doctors, and you can see the proof below, In the United States alone, the total number of deaths caused by conventional medicine like painkillers and anti-inflammatories is about 800,000 men, women and children every year. That's about 2,200 a day. So it's now evident that the American medical system is the leading cause of death and injury in the United States. Now that is those eminent doctors saying that, not me. So I was desperate to find a way of reducing and even stopping the fluid retention, but at the same time stimulating your body's natural healing mechanisms into healing the fluid retention problem as fast as possible. But I had to do it without harming or damaging in any way your immune system and the natural healing mechanisms. You know, the human body, it's incredible, and we don't need to poison it with toxins. I've seen so many people lose the quality of their life with fluid retention, and then they lose their health. And it starts with simple conditions like fluid retention, and it's tragic, and it's so often avoidable. You know, this is why I've done my research. You see, human beings with fluid retention have been around as long as human beings have been on this earth. It's a normal illness. But drug companies have been around for about 100 years, and they don't want you to know what your ancestors knew about fluid retention. So when I'm doing my research, I always go back into history and see how our ancestors dealt with the problem. Now, after a lot of reading, and I don't mean the usual herbalist research books, whilst I can't reveal my sources, I've got secret access to some of the very best books on the planet. Now, these books are kept hidden away by rich collectors, private libraries. I mean, some of the drug companies have got amazing collections of herbal remedy books and information, and they keep it to themselves. Now, I've also got access to books that modern science believes are just not worth looking at. Books written with people who've got no medical qualifications. But these same people have lived in the wilds of nature, learning and practicing the secrets of nature each and every day of their lives. And these people have had herbal remedies passed down from one generation to the next, and these remedies, they work. Now, it was in one such research book that I found the clues to an ancient cure for fluid retention. It was in an old bookshop, and it lay just behind the harbour in Antibes, which is in southern France. Now, that book was over 200 years old. Now, my French isn't that good, but fortunately the book was written in Latin. Now, my Latin isn't that good either, but I knew enough to recognise the plants' names. But I was puzzled because there were several interesting and amazing remedies in that book, but there was one remedy that stood out, and that remedy was for water retention. And yet the plants that I'd read about, I had never considered for using with fluid, water retention problems before. So I took note of the types of plants used and where they're best found, the ratio, how to mix them, and the preparation, and anything else that I could think about that might help me make this remedy. Now, of course, I've used these herbs before. I've heard of them and I've used them many times before, but I had no idea then that once mixed in this particular combination, that they would stimulate such an incredible fluid retention relieving effect and a healing effect on the swollen ankles and swollen legs and swollen tummy. Now, I do know that up to now, most natural remedies for fluid retention are mostly nothing more than a mild diuretic, which do work a little, but they simply don't affect the healing mechanism to any degree at all. So you can take them, the water will go out, but then it just comes back again. So they do help a little, but they simply don't work. They're not strong enough. So I expected my research to last about 6 to 12 months, but I had a 100% proven remedy in 6 weeks. See, I wanted to test it for longer, but my conscience just wouldn't let me, because every single client with fluid retention was reporting amazing results, and sometimes within just a few hours. So this remedy, it's been proven countless times now to quickly reduce fluid retention and rapidly strengthen your body's healing ability, the healing abilities of your body. So how do you use this remedy? Well, you simply massage just a few drops. It's a clear, very pleasant smelling remedy. And you massage it directly onto your swollen areas. If you've got swollen legs or swollen ankles, even swollen arms or your swollen tummy, it can take a few seconds and that's it. And you do it 3 times a day. But finally, and this is important, you've got to put a few drops onto the soles of your feet at bedtime. Now that's it, it's that easy. But your healing will begin. It's not enough to just get rid of the fluid, you've got to heal your system. Your fluid retention levels will come down naturally. Hopefully you'll no longer need any powerful diuretic drugs that slaughter your already tired immune system. Now, I made the remedy so that it is simple and easy and convenient to use, but it is concentrated, it will last you a long time. It's a pleasant smelling, oily liquid, and it doesn't look like much, but the remedy packs a wallop. You'll suddenly feel your fluid retention improving. Within a few hours of using it, you'll feel different. You'll know that your fluid retention really is improving. Soon you'll have less fluid and you'll have an increased mobility. Your clothes will fit better, and hopefully you'll be saying goodbye to diuretics for good. So it's a convenient, easy to use remedy, and it means that you don't have to spend your days making expensive and time consuming appointments with your doctor. You don't have to go down the drugstore and try to guess your way or discussing your problems with strangers and guessing what remedy to use. This is just a small bottle of a thick, clear, very pleasant smelling liquid. Now it is small, so it will fit easily unnoticed into your pocket or your purse, and you can dab a few drops onto your swollen ankles and your swollen legs and your tummy during the day. The choice is yours how often you apply it, but make sure you do use it at bedtime. Now, I plan to launch the remedy called Fluid Retention Doctor with advertising and fancy packaging and sending it out from a small network of distributors, but I never got the chance. What happened? Word quickly spread about the results that I was getting with the Fluid Retention Doctor. Now, patients started turning up without an appointment, and even other herbalists came to my practice and literally demanded I make for them so they can give it to their clients. But I couldn't do it because it wasn't so simple. You see, I tested a lot of different herbs, and the only organic herbs which consistently stops fluid retention come from the Middle East. Now, in these war-torn, struggling times, can you imagine how hard it is to import a shipment from the Middle East? Now, to say my ingredient supply is in the lap of the gods, it's a big understatement. But I did it. I recently got enough ingredients for 3 batches. And I've made those batches already by hand myself. I've measured the ingredients, I've weighed them, I've mixed the ingredients and I've blended them myself and I've checked everything. So don't worry about that. The Fluid Retention Doctor remedies that I make are of the highest quality. Now, I've handed over 2 of the batches to my trusted friend Emma Williams. So, if you have fluid retention, then I strongly suggest that you get this remedy from Emma. It's called Fluid Retention Doctor, and you get it before her supplies run out. Now, it's like I said earlier, this remedy, it packs a wallop. You'll suddenly feel your fluid retention improving. Within a few hours of using it, you'll start to feel different. You'll know that you're losing the fluid and that you're getting better. But you've got to hurry because, like I said earlier, I only give this to personal clients and fellow herbalists. I've never committed a single batch of Fluid Retention Doctor to anyone else before. Now, Emma begged me not to let the other herbalists or the online stores know what we were up to until she had the stock. Well, now she has it, and it is going faster than we both imagined. So if you mess around or you order late, you may miss out. And if you have fluid retention, then that would be a horrible mistake. So don't let that happen. Okay, so get this remedy now and you'll be free of fluid retention. And you'll be able to move pain-free and you'll feel the fluid going away. Okay, so have a good look at the testimonials below and see how the remedy has helped other men and women across the country get rid of their fluid retention. Now, it may be that you've got a few reservations or doubts about what we've discussed, And that's fair enough, because after all, you don't know me and we don't know each other. So let me put your mind completely at rest so that you can experience that fluid retention doctor remedy for yourself. You can try this remedy risk-free for a full 90 days. You don't risk a single penny trying this remedy for yourself. You've got a complete 90-day unconditional 100% money-back guarantee. But the clear and simple truth of the remedy is this. You see, this remedy, it's a breakthrough. There's nothing else like it. So what I'm saying to you, if it doesn't quickly and easily reduce your fluid retention and boost your healing, or if you're not satisfied in any way at all, then I insist you send the remedy back to Emma in any condition, and she will personally make sure you get a fast and full refund of every penny you paid for the remedy. And there'll be no questions asked, and there'll be no hassles, nothing. And you can even keep all the bonus books as a thanks for trying the remedy, and that's from me. And you have my word on that. Okay, so how much will this fluid retention doctor remedy cost you? Well, I normally charge my clients $200 for an appointment here, plus $170 for the remedy, because it is handmade, it's organic, and it works. But because you don't have to have an appointment with me, we're not using my office, we're not using my staff, we're not using all the other resources and expenses. I've agreed with Emma to give you 50% discount on the fluid retention doctor remedy. 50%. That means you can get your remedy for only $87 plus $5 shipping, and that means you're going to save over $280. And not only that, Emma has literally manhandled me into giving you an additional set of health books, a bonus, and they're valued at $127. But that's only to the first 100 people who try the fluid retention remedy. And you can see the details of those books below here. But you'll see the cost of those books alone is more than the price of the remedy. So, I mean, this is the first time I've ever done an offer to the public. And you can see you cannot lose. It's risk-free. And it's an amazing offer. You've nothing to lose. So $87, it's less than the price of a visit to your doctor. So order the remedy right now, and Emma still got the stock, and you're still on this page. So click the link below, and Emma will look after you. But if you've got any questions about fluid retention or even the fluid retention remedy, you can write to me at any time, and I'll get back to you. But so simply click on the link below, and Emma will get your remedy in the post to you today. All right. Thank you.